It's probably the scariest thing I've ever been through in my entire life. I think when you become a mom, you don't fear a whole lot except for something happening to one of your children. I always told God I can handle anything, but when it comes to that, I don't think I could do that.
It was scary.
Well, we were in the backyard, and I guess we were just bored. So I think there's just the broomstick was laying in the backyard. So we were like, let's just break something.
I was out front. I actually told Jason and his brother to go outside and play because they were inside driving each other crazy.
We were hitting a basketball goal, like the pole.
Well, all I remember was being outside with the broomstick, determined to break it. That was the last thing I remember before waking up in the hospital.
Jacob come around through the fence to the front, so Jace hurt himself, and Jace walks through the door, through the back door, through the front door, under the carport holding his neck.
At first, I didn't think that happened, but then, I just saw the blood.
Go over there to him, he starts to fall, so I lay him down. I have to pull my shirt off. That's the only thing I have to hold pressure.
We got the call, it was an 11-year-old, possible laceration to the neck.
At one point in time, it seemed like he stopped breathing. So I gave him a couple little breaths, and he gasped, and he started breathing again.
Well, as I walked in the door, I found Jace sitting in Chris's lap, or laying in Chris's lap, and Chris was holding pressure to his neck. And Jace was white as a ghost, and I asked Chris to let me see what's going on, and when he did, just blood. So I picked Jace up, and I just told him, get in the ambulance. If you're going with me, let's go.
My mother-in-law comes running through the back door, and she says, Jennifer, we got to go now.
I was playing with my stuffed animals, and I asked what happened, and she said, just get in the truck.
I knew it was something bad, but I was thinking maybe he had gotten in a tree and fallen down and broke his leg. I never thought he was knocking on death's door.
We get him to the hospital, get him inside, have him on our stretcher. They already have blood there in the room.
All these people working on him, tubes, stuff, people everywhere, blood, and I just froze.
Was there a thought in your mind that he wasn't going to make it?
Yeah, it really was. When we were on our way to the hospital, I was telling Jacob just to pray.
I've never seen Chris this way. He's the strongest man I've ever known, and he had this look of defeat and fear, and almost like he was looking at me saying, I tried.
They get him intubated and get blood hung. We put him back in our ambulance, go from that hospital to university, drop him off at university, and somehow he made it.
The surgeons came in, said that he made it through surgery. They repaired the vein. They were keeping him in a coma. They were running tests, and then he would be put in ICU.
Less than 1% of all trauma codes, which means quit breathing and their heart stop, less than 1% ever come back.
It was really late that night, maybe early Easter morning. Jace sits up in the bed. Sits up. He's on all this medicine. He sits up in bed, and he's grabbing and confused, wide-eyed.
I just didn't know where I was. I don't know why I was there.
And I was ecstatic because this meant my little boy, regardless of what he'd been through the whole day, all the medicine they've given him, he should be dead, and he's fighting.
I was astounded. Couldn't believe it.
It was a miracle. I mean, wow. I mean, it was just awesome. It was awesome. Can't really explain it.
It's pretty much a miracle that I'm here today.
If God wouldn't have been there, this wouldn't have happened at all the way it did. It was an absolute miracle.